Introduction to Business Law. Main ways to acquire ownership of property. Ways to acquire ownership of property. There are several key ways to acquire legal ownership of property. These methods can be broadly classified into two groups. Original acquisition, when there was no previous owner. Derivative acquisition, when you get the property from a previous owner. Purchase, derivative acquisition. This is the most common way to acquire property. When you buy something, like a car, a house, or a business, you are acquiring ownership from the previous owner in exchange for money or something of value. The transfer of ownership is formalized through a contract, such as a bill of sale for personal property or a deed for real property. Purchase, derivative acquisition. Example: buying a smartphone from a store. The store is the previous owner and you become the new owner after paying the price. Gift, derivative acquisition. A gift is a voluntary transfer of property from one person, the donor, to another, the donee, without receiving anything in return. To be a valid gift, three things must happen. Intention. The donor must intend to make a gift. Delivery. The donor must physically or symbolically hand over the property to the donee. Acceptance. The donee must accept the gift. Gift, derivative acquisition. Example: your parents give you a car for your birthday. They intend to give it to you. They hand over the keys, delivery, and you accept it. Inheritance, derivative acquisition. When a person dies, their property is transferred to others through inheritance. This is done according to a will or, if there is no will, through specific laws of succession in that country. Inheritance, derivative acquisition. Example: your grandfather leaves his house and money to his grandchildren in his will. The grandchildren acquire ownership of the property after his death. Production, original acquisition. You can become the owner of something by creating it yourself. This applies to both tangible and intangible property. Example: if you write a song, you own the copyright to that song. This is an example of acquiring intangible property by creation. If you build a table from wood you bought, you own the table. This is acquiring tangible property by production. Possession, original acquisition. In some limited situations, you can acquire ownership simply by taking possession of something that has no owner. Abandoned property. If someone intentionally leaves their property with no intention of returning for it, the first person to take possession of it can become the new owner. Wild animals. In many legal systems, the first person to capture a wild animal becomes its owner. This is often called first in time, first in right. Possession, original acquisition. Example: you find an old sofa left on the curb for garbage collection. The previous owner has abandoned it, so you can take it and become the new owner. Owner.